Welcome to the Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand, and then we read them dramatically back to you for the most epic of all recaps by adding in music, weird voices, and sometimes sound effects. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Now, for those of you who don't know the situation with Thor, he was deemed unworthy of the hammer a little while ago in a little series known as Original Sin. A new Thor has taken over, Jane Foster, and she has gone on to become one of the most incredible Thors. But what happened to Odinson, the name that he goes by now? The original Thor. He went off on a drinking binge, which eventually ended with him being lost in space. No one has seen him, and in the unknown vastness of space, aboard a ship bound for who knows where, somebody is not having a good day. Odinson thinks back on the days long past in his life, days that were spent racing comets from one end of the cosmos to another, with thunder and hammers as his only comrades. He is no longer that god, however. Now, he is unworthy. Now his days are spent fighting, with fist and foot and teeth if that's required. Every day he fights and he fails and he fights again. Aliens of different shapes and sizes tackle him, and he fights back with all of his considerable strength. More of the aliens arrive and their weapons crackle with energy. Odinson is brought down as they shock him over and over again, and as he struggles to stand, Odinson remembers a time when he would have tossed these men aside with a swing of his hammer, and he vows that that time will come again. He swears it by the gods. He stretches out his hand, reaching for a hammer. 3 months earlier on the moon, cold and desolate, Odin's son stands upon it, overlooking a crater, pouring a drinking horn of mead down his throat. Strange reports of vandalized and half-eaten satellites have brought him here. Should anything but I rise from this crater, eat it. Odinson commands his mighty Asgardian goat, Tooth Gnasher, and then he leaps into it. He lands with a crash and he's met by a horde of trolls. Let us skip the banter and start with a smiting. Odinson stays as he pulls free Jarnbjorn from his back and he leaps into battle. But before he can strike the troll, he is struck down by Ulik, the king of trolls. Ulik taunts him. A Thor without a hammer is like a snake without fangs, a little more than a worm. I am without a hammer, but not without fangs, Odinson replies as Tooth Gnasher rams Ulik from behind, throwing the mighty troll away, allowing Odinson to hack and slash his way through the group of trolls. Tooth Gnasher is thrown past Odinson, who promises Ulik that he will pay for laying hands on his goat. With a laugh, Ulik brings the walls of the crater down upon Odinson, burying him and allowing the trolls a chance to escape. I may not be the god that I once was, yet I am still the son of Odin, thinks Odinson as he lifts the stones with his bare hands. I can handle one paltry moon. The trolls begin to escape, sailing away into space, and Odinson throws his axe with his considerable strength. It sails through the air, and it misses, spinning off into the unknown vastness of deep space. The trolls laugh, and they sail away. Odinson stands defeated, his shoulders slumping down as he slides to the ground, and he remembers that this is where it happened. This is where he fell. This is where he became unworthy. There is another. The stranger in a black cloak, wrapped in chains, tells Odinson, "Who are you?" "Once there was a watcher. Now there is only me. I am the unseen. I see all." The stranger speaks in riddles, telling Odinson about past events, and he tells him once again, "There is another hammer. The hammer of a dead world and a dead Thor." The stranger tells Odinson where his hammer can be found, and without hesitation, Odinson mounts Tooth Gnasher and rides through the heavens of Old Asgard, where the gods once dwelt. Odinson pulls up short of Asgard, where it once was, and he discovers that there is nothing but asteroids floating in its empty space. He stares in disbelief until he's disturbed by a crack of thunder and lightning, and before him stands his old friend, Beta Ray Bill. "I know where it was taken. I know who stole it." Before Odinson can ask any more questions, Beta Ray kneels before him. Odinson has lost his hammer, so Beta Ray begs him to take his, the mighty Stormbringer. Stormbringer, forged by Odin himself with the power to rival even that of Mjolnir, forged and gifted to the mighty warrior Beta Ray Bill. "Take my hammer, please, Thor. It would be my honor," begs a kneeling Beta Ray. "Rise, my friend. No longer am I Thor, and Stormbringer belongs to you." Odinson believes himself to not even be worthy of Beta Ray's friendship. Beta Ray knows who has stolen Old Asgard, yet before he can speak the name of the thief, he is attacked by enemy ships from space. By them? By them. Let us have words with these thieves, and with all of his considerable strength, Odinson throws his mighty axe at one of the enemy ships, destroying it to one blow. The two mighty warriors leap into battle, and Beta Ray calls upon the power of Stormbringer, smashing the ships with lightning. As their battle rages on, Beta Ray points to the starship in the distance, indicating that that is where Old Asgard has been taken, and without hesitation, Odinson rides towards the ship on Tooth Gnasher, while Beta Ray yells for him to wait. On board the ship, they shout that they approach, and in the distance, a meek speck in the vast room that houses a giant sphere is the master of the vessel. Reaching out his hand, he turns on a switch on the massive sphere. Open the bay doors, he orders, and the sphere floats into space and is calm. A massive explosion erupts from the sphere, throwing Odinson off of Tooth Gnasher. Odinson dreams. He dreams of hammers that are crushing him beneath the weight of his unworthiness. He dreams of whispers. He dreams of a figure shrouded in a living darkness. He awakens to find himself chained in a massive room, surrounded by strange creatures, locked away in small cages. And before him sits his captor, the Collector. You have tried to put me in a cage before, Collector. But the Collector tells him that he is not putting him in a cage, he is taking him home. He drops Odinson into the once mighty realm of Old Asgard. Why still Asgard, questions Odinson. Not Asgard, but what resides in it. Odinson is stunned at what he sees, and he finds a massive hammer laying in a crater with a familiar inscription on the side. By Odin's beard, there is another. The Collector looks at him and he tells him, "Tell me how to pick it up." And Odinson refuses. A child then walks out of the prison and the Collector tells him, "Tell me how to lift the hammer or watch him die." Then begins to count. 5. "You fool, you must be worthy," Odinson exclaims as the count continues. 4. "Odinson, please." 3. Then he threatens. 2. "I will kill you for this, Collector." 1. With a crack of thunder, lightning explodes from the hammer, destroying the man threatening the prisoner. Energy crackles around Odinson as he walks towards it, showing him images of another Thor from another realm. An ultimate Thor that fought with the same fury and thunder in his veins. Odinson reaches out his hand and he is shot from behind by the Collector. "The hammer will be mine, Odinson." Every day, Odinson battles the men of the Collector, striving for the hammer of the ultimate Thor. He reaches out his hand and he is struck down, for there are far too many. They stand over him victorious, dragging him back to his cell. As he finds himself once more in his cage, he hears a voice. "Hey, Boybeard, let me eat some of your fingers," calls a voice from the cell next to him. "All you can do is lose at fighting. Don't need fingers for that." The voice belongs to a rather angry hellhound known across the 10 realms as Death Ripper, the Devil Dog, whose actual name is Thori. "You're bad at escaping," Thori notes, "and there's no way off of this ship." Odinson pulls at his chains. "I do not have to make it off of the ship, I just need to reach my hammer." He breaks the chains of these and he throws himself at the energy bars of the cell. "Here we go again," the guards note, but before they can react, the lightning courses through them, and Beta Ray Bill stands amidst the crackling lightning. "Odinson, my brother, are you ready to summon the thunder?" Beta Ray had also been imprisoned, but he managed to escape and find the mighty Stormbringer. With a powerful swing, he destroys the bars that impede Odinson. "Let Thori out, I'll murder for you, lots and lots of murder." Beta Ray has seen Old Asgard and the hammer, and he offers to lead Odinson to it, but with a mention of the hammer, Odinson gets a murderous look in his eyes, and he leaves at Beta Ray. "The hammer is mine." Beta Ray tries to defend himself while pleading with Odinson, who is overcome by warrior madness. Odinson knows that he is overcome with the berserker rage, yet he can't stop himself from throwing Beta Ray across the bill, causing him to drop the Stormbringer. In his rage, Odinson reaches out for it, longing to be whole again, longing to be Thor. But before he can, Proxima Midnight knocks him away, and Black Swan attacks Beta Ray, and the two warriors gather themselves, and Beta Ray calls his mighty hammer to him. "Are you ready, Odinson?" A growl is Odinson's reply. Before the battle can continue, the mysterious cloaked figure teleports the disciples of Thanos away, leaving the two warriors alone. However, in the ship, the Collector stands with his men staring at the mighty hammer. Each day, the storm surrounding the hammer grows more powerful, and soon it will destroy the entire ship, and the Collector does not care. Suddenly, Thanos' disciples attack the Collector, claiming the hammer for Thanos himself, and while they fight, the mysterious cloaked individual slips quietly towards it, reaching for the hammer. Thunder crashes and lightning strikes, cutting everyone off from the power. Odinson grabs his axe and he strides through the ship with his goat, Tooth Gnasher, the Hellhound Thori, and Beta Ray Bill at his side. "I do not need a hammer to raise hell. This day I claim one nonetheless. So swears the Unworthy Thor." Black Swan walks through the raging storm that surrounds the hammer from the Ultimate Universe. However, before she can reach it, a bolt of lightning throws her away. Those who wish to wield the hammer stand around it, unable to reach it, when from the storm steps Odinson. "I have come to claim what is mine. Stand aside or be ready to bleed." He is just as unworthy as the rest of us. Kill him, declares the mysterious cloaked figure, and the battle rages on. Thor swings his mighty axe and uses his Uru-made arm as a shield against the attacks of Proxima Midnight. Beta Ray Bill throws Stormbringer at Black Swan, promising her a jail cell next to Thanos, and the Collector runs as Tooth Gnasher chases him through the air. Thor stands ready to face the mysterious cloaked stranger, and he calls out, "What are you doing here? Stand down, dog, I command you." And with an eruption of flames from his mouth, he shouts, "You command nothing!" After a final blow knocks Proxima Midnight to the ground, Odinson strides away through the storm to stand before the mighty hammer at last. Will it feel it? Will it whisper? Chains wrap around his neck before he can even grasp the handle. "It's mine, Odinson, you all are!" The Collector shouts as he lifts Odinson away, and Odinson swings his axe, slicing through the chains, dropping back down to the ground. He frees Tooth Gnasher and he continues the fight, and the Collector continues to rant, "Everyone is my property!" He looks just in time to see Odinson knock him through the air, and they both tumble to the ground. Long ago, Thor was brought low by a whisper. To rise again, to be worthy, he needs to be stronger than whispers, and finally he reaches out, because he also needs a hammer. That, which began with a whisper, now ends with thunder! Energy crackles as he grasps the hammer. I feel it, even if it comes from a universe that I'll never know. The hammer still knows me. "Do it, Odinson!" Beta Ray calls out. For he is Thor, the god of thunder, and he hears the thunder in his ears, and this is not my hammer, and he releases it. The disciples of Thanos stand over looking at Odinson. "We're taking the hammer to Thanos. This is not my hammer, but it is a hammer of a Thor, and it won't be going anywhere with the likes of you." The energy crackles around Odinson as he bellows, raising his fist into the air, and he brings it down with the power of lightning, throwing his enemies far and away, riding the lightning out of the Collector's ship. "The hammer belongs to me, and you're going back to your cage, Asgardian!" The Collector yells out as he pulls himself from the rubble that is his ship. He is shocked to see Thor leading the other prisoners away from their now empty cages. "I am not taking the hammer, but I am taking back my home," Odinson says as he lifts the Collector and throws him off of the ledge. "How will we return to Asgard?" questions Beta Ray. Yet there is no need. Energy once again ripples from the mighty hammer, and the old Asgard disappears. Old Asgard is once again where it should be, and Odinson and Beta Ray Bill stand together. Odinson knows that this is not his hammer to lift. The hammer will call to its owner, as his called to the new Thor. "Do you believe in your worthiness again?" questions Bill. No god is worthy. That was the meaning of the whisper that brought Thor down. Gods are vain and vengeful. They are unworthy of the worship that humans bestow upon them. Odinson no longer carries his hammer because he truly believes this. So the two warriors rest for the day and they drink. No hammers were lifted, yet the battle was won and the sagas ended. Yet it is not at an end. Days pass and the hammer sits, and from the darkness someone comes. They have heard the whispers of the hammer as lightning strikes when they reach out and take hold, for it is now time for War Thor! And that brings us to the return of Odinson, finally! I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this. This took a long time coming, and I'm excited that we not only have Odinson, but we still have the female Thor, Jane Foster. Why wouldn't you want her along for the ride as well? If you want to keep up to date as to what's going on with Secret Empire and the Marvel Universe and the Thor saga of all kinds of craziness, then subscribe to this channel because we try to keep you up to date on it as best of our ability. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Comicstorian. I'll talk to you next time right here.